Hey everyone, Grayson the Bard here, and welcome back to day 144 of the Hunt a Day. I gotta keep things pretty tight today because I've got, looking at my clock right now, approximately 30 minutes to record this voiceover, get the video edited, and get it up on YouTube before I have to leave for work. I consistently do not give myself enough time on Saturdays. Do not know why, but thankfully there is only, after today, one more Saturday remaining until Monster Hunter Wilds. 13 days. The light is no longer at the end of the tunnel. The light is shining upon all our faces, and the tunnel is growing brighter. I'm feeling poetic this morning, I guess. But today we are fighting Shogun Ceanataur, one of the other crab monsters introduced in 2nd generation Monster Hunter. Yeah, they were introduced in Gen 2, I believe. And of the two crab monsters introduced in Gen 2, I think Shogun Ceanataur is my least favorite. I love Daimyo Hermitaur. He is one of my favorite little idiots. I absolutely love him. He is like a much more defensive, tanky crab creature, whereas Shogun Ceanataur is much more like offensive and aggressive. And I love how they pair together, but if I had to choose one of those two that I would prefer to come back, it would 100% be Daimyo. I love Hermitaur. I love its aesthetics. I love the way it moves. I love the way it fights. I enjoy Shogun, and I will talk about that in just a second, but toe to tip, Hermitaur clears Shogun like nothing. But that doesn't mean I think Shogun's a bad monster. I really like its look, especially. I think aesthetically, it is one of the grossest looking monsters in the game. Like, I get more unsettled looking at Shogun Ceanataur's face than I do looking at the entirety of Kezu. It's just, crabs and like crustaceans and all that, they have the most alien, gross, funky looking faces, and the design team at Capcom did a great job of making this freak look like a freak. He's great. I love him. The blue and like steel gray coloration for his color palette is really nice and really striking. And I love the way his claws extend to make like the scythe blades. And of course the Gravios shell on his back that when you break his shell to reveal his fleshy appendage, you know I'm going to talk about it. And he digs down into the ground and comes up with a different shell. I absolutely love that. I am so happy they didn't just have him come up with another Gravios skull. Or at least, like, not the first time. He comes up with, like, a smaller, like, just shell, which locks him out of using his water attacks, which is great. I love when monster part breaks affect future parts of the fight. But in terms of the fight itself, despite all that stuff I love, I think I don't enjoy how big Shogun's attacks are. And when I say that, I mean, like, just in terms of width. Like, how much screen real estate his attacks take up. It makes it a pain in the ass to dodge. And when you do dodge them, you end up either like fully clear of the monster, like directly behind it, or directly in the path of a follow-up attack, which is not fun. And I will admit, because I did not give myself enough time today, because I was rushing, I played very sloppy in this hunt. This is not a good showing for me. But I also just am not the biggest fan of this hunt. But it's still really cool, still a really fun fight. Let's talk about his water attacks. So when he's got the Gravio shell on, occasionally he will shoot a like high pressure beam of water out of the Gravios like mouth, and that attack's fine. That attack's good. But when you break that shell and you see where the water is coming from, I know it's not what it looks like. I know there's probably like a biological technical term for what that appendage actually is, but the joke and like what everyone sees, I'm not even gonna say, we all know what it looks like. I love introducing people to Shogun Ceanataur and being like, yeah, we gotta break the shell, you'll understand why soon. And as soon as the shell comes off, just hearing oh no, or like some variation of that, because he's a piss boy, he's a piss crab, and it's great and it's wonderful. And I love it. And I think we're probably going to see him again. I think I would love to see both of the crabs come back, Daimyo and Shogun. The crab I want to see the most. And, like, Capcom, I know you're not listening, But on the off chance that someone from Capcom is watching, and in the 13 days you have time to add an entirely new monster in case this one's not already in it, Tycoon Zamuza from Frontier, bring him back, bring him into mainline. Let him join his crab brethren. But I think Shogun is going to come back entirely because I know this was one of the monsters that got spoiled for me. I know Gravios is coming back, and so I think it would make sense for Shogun to make an appearance too. But I also know that that's not necessarily a precedent, given that he was in Rise and Gravios was not. But who knows? Maybe I'm right. Again, this is all speculation. I do not want to know if I am right. I have been mostly spoiler-free, aside from a couple accidental spoilings that have happened over the past couple months. I have been spoiler-free since September, since the release date trailer, and I would like to stay that way as much as I can. So please do not confirm if I am right, but I think Shogun has a pretty high chance of coming back. I want to say like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Cut down a little bit because it was just in Rise, and I don't know if they would bring back Daimyo as well, and they are kind of a pair. You kind of need to have one in order to have the other. I would love to see both of them come back, but I'm not sure. But I think they are very popular monsters, either for their armor or just their personality in fights. So I want to say like a 10 out of 10 to show up in a future Monster Hunter game. And that is where I'm going to be wrapping up the ramble for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Please stick around till the end of the fight if you can. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. And until next time, I'll see you next time.